Hi, I'm Polly McKinney, Advocacy Director at Voices for Georgia's Children, and welcome to my second 2-minute take of 2019. We are just finishing up here today. It's Thursday. Governor Kemp has just delivered his State of the State address, and we have some hot tips for you about what will be in the governor's budget proposal for children. But before I get to those tips, I just want to tell you how it works. So today was the State of the State. The governor's budget gets released like today, tomorrow, online. Voices will summarize the child-relevant line items for you in my legislative update. And then the House and Senate start to vet his recommendations, and then they'll take that next week's budget hearings. They'll listen to hearings on the amended budget, which is taking this year's current budget that they're working with and adding some money and moving money around a little bit to address school enrollment, all that kind of stuff. And then they will look at the big budget for 2020. They'll get vetted in the House first, passed, all that stuff, then it goes to the Senate. They do the same thing, and then there's usually a conference committee towards the end of session to work out all the kinks. So that's what we are, just the very beginning of that process. In the governor's budget, you get to watch me read off my messy notes. He has proposed, as many of us have heard through the campaign, a $5,000 salary increase for certified school teachers. In this year's budget, this year's big budget, the 2020 budget, he's proposing a $3,000 permanent salary increase for those school teachers as sort of like the down payment towards the $5,000. Recommended a 2% merit increase for all state employees. That's really big. And he acknowledged how hard they work, which they do work very hard. But he wants to put a $69 million one-time hunk of change in there for school security so that every public school in the state will get a $30,000 grant to assess their school safety. And that can go for like metal detectors or an assessment or whatever that the local folks think is needed. And then the other big budget item that he mentioned in his speech for us, which is important, is he's recommending $8.4 million for Georgia Apex to make sure that it's in every Georgia high school. And that would go a long way towards some of our mental health goals that we have for kids. I'll send you a little clip I made of him walking down the aisle before I found out that you aren't allowed to do photography in the gallery of the house. I found out from the very kind doorkeeper in a very tasteful way. So that's sort of the top ticket items for the governor's budget recommendations from the State of the State. We will read the budget diligently, line by line, probably read it in my pajamas, and then we'll send a summary out on Monday so that you can see it. You might get this Tuesday, so look backwards in your emails after you watch this video, and you can see our budget summary, as well as summaries of all the bills that got dropped this week, the first week of the legislative session. What's up next week? Next week they're taking Monday off, which is awesome because it's Martin Luther King Day, so go out and do your community service. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday they have budget hearings on both the amended budget and I believe the big budget, the 2020 budget. So you can watch those live, you can stream them. And if you don't feel like streaming them, we'll summarize those for you as well. It's this week, we're starting our childhood series, which is interviews with lawmakers about their childhoods. It's a really sweet little series, so we hope you'll see that on Thursday when it comes out. And your advocacy ask. I know you guys are all waiting for that. You always wait for an advocacy ask. I would like you to look up who your Georgia State Senator is, and I'm not talking about Johnny Isakson or David Perdue. They're your United States Senators. Look up who your state senators, your Georgia State Senator, and also who your state representative is, and figure out what their emails are and how you can contact them when you want to say something. And you might even just send them a short note saying, hey, my name is so-and-so and I'm your constituent, and I just want you to know that I appreciate your service. And that would be your advocacy ask this week. Anyway, that's all for now. Kind of quiet here now. We had a full house earlier, but I will see you next week, and keep your eyes on your emails, because who knows when we're going to ask you to do a little advocacy. Thanks. See you later. Bye. Better than my tired eyes. I need to wear sunglasses next time. Be like totally cool.